How's it going, guys? And welcome back to the channel, Pete's Carport. Thanks again for tuning in for each one of these videos. You guys have been an awesome support. I'm sitting in the new to my carport or garage, however you want to call it, LEXUS LS430. It's a 2002 luxury edition, and it has the rear seat, awesome entertainment stuff. I showed you guys in the last video. Go back and check that out if this is your first time tuning in. Today, we're gonna fix an issue that is kind of a small one, but a very big one in many ways, and that is the side mirror, the driver or passenger side mirror, I'm sorry. The driver's side is working perfect, and it's the folding function on this. I'm gonna go ahead and show you that, guys, now. If you see it, the motor works great, it unfolds, but it just keeps going, and it will fold right back in perfectly. So I came up with a solution that's only going to cost about $2. Stay tuned, guys. It's going to be a fun video, and we're going to get this sucker fixed up. Alright, guys, so I'm going to tell you right up front, this is not the perfect way of doing this. In fact, what you really want to do is what I started to do and take this entire thing apart. As you can see, I taped it back together. Some of the clips were kind of brittle on this, and I'm going to go ahead and glue the entire thing back together once we get it working. But the proper way of doing this is to either replace the entire rear view unit assembly, take it into a shop, have them do that. It's not the most difficult job, but it's not for a beginner DIYer. You can easily mess some things up, and you do need some tools. You need to take this apart properly and don't break the clips like happened to me. But I want to fix this on a very low budget. I don't know if I'm going to be keeping this car, or if I do keep it, I don't want to have to deal with getting out every time, because this does go right. You can snap it right back to where it needs to go, and you can be on your way. But who wants to get out of their car every single time you have to either, if you can turn off the folding function, that's really neat about this. But I love the folding function because I have a carport and I gotta squeeze by these vehicles all the time to get to things, and the first thing I always do is fold my mirrors in on all my cars because they're very easy to hit and damage. And I have this feature on every car but my Volkswagen, and so my BMW, the Mercedes S500, and now this car. So I love that feature. The Navigator had it, and that actually broke after about a year. And I want to go ahead and get this fixed. Now, like I said, probably going to be a lot of thumbs down on this video because people might be expecting the entire deassembling of this and fixing this. That can easily be done. It might be something I do in the future, but take this in that this video is just to show you how to get it to actually function. And what I saw every time I was watching this go in and out is, if you look down in here, what it does is it lines right up to that when it's fully open, but it just keeps going. And so I realized I could put a stopper here so that when it shuts, it's going to stop on that, and the motor's going to stop, hopefully. So that's what we're going to test out too, make sure the motor doesn't just keep going and we wear out our motor. But from what I know, it's going to basically stop the motor because there's probably an internal gear that broke, is my complete guess on this. I took it apart and it looked like it was more than I wanted to get into at the time, and I know I can kind of fix this easily. So what is my solution? I went down to Lowe's, and there's a million ways you can do this. I even thought about getting just a screw and pulling it away a little bit, screwing a screw down into it so that it hits right there, but I kind of wanted this to be more flush. So I attempted to do a couple different things. There is quite a gap underneath there, so I thought, man, if I can just get like something like T-shaped to slide in there and I can super glue it down, that would work. So I picked up some pins, and I picked up white ones so that you're not going to see it. And what I'm going to do is we're going to basically pull this mirror back this way, get this down in there, this pin, and we're going to super glue it so that when it opens, it hits the edge of the pin. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get that set up now. I'm probably going to use an epoxy because I already have some and that works really well. You can use any type of super glue. Keep in mind there's a million different ways you can do this. Anything that's going to basically stop this mirror if you have this issue. And I believe this issue was caused by somebody actually hitting that direction and breaking the gear off. That is my complete guess on this. I got the vehicle. The gentleman had no idea how it happened. I believe when he got it 3 years prior, it was already like that. So I'm going to go ahead and get set up. I'm going to show you guys how I get it glued in, and we're going to test it, make sure it works. Once again, this is just a quick fix. It's not a permanent fix for those that are looking to have a fully functioning new-like mirror. So stay tuned. I'm going to go ahead and get that glued in. Alright guys, so back in the car, I wanted to basically show you guys when we turn the ignition to the on accessory, the mirror is going to open. It will click a few times as the gear is trying to basically set in and the gear is stripped inside, so it's not stopping. But it will go a couple of times and then stop. Ironically, it doesn't do that every time, but you can see the quick fix did work. And I'll go ahead and turn it off so you can see the mirror close. As you can see, it'll do a couple clicks there too, because once again, that gear is not lined up where it's supposed to be. Only one click there. I'm going to come to the outside and I'm going to go over how I did this. It really didn't take much time at all. It was extremely easy. And what we used on it is I had a pack of Gorilla Glue already inside. I also tried, just so you guys are aware, I tried some of this epoxy from Harbor Freight, and I know this stuff works awesome. It does say sets in 90 seconds. I put some on, waited a couple hours, turned the mirror on, and it just pushed it off because it was still soft. So I'm guessing if I would have left it for probably 24 hours, it would have been fine. But this stuff literally set in 30 seconds, I would say, and within 5 minutes it was hard enough to use. We actually went down to the park and I turned it on quite a few times since then. But you'll see, basically, I took this pin and I pulled the mirror a little bit that way and I slid my finger in with the pin, and then I turned the mirror back and I held it and just basically put a small amount of the glue on there, let it dry. I held it in place, like I said, about 30 seconds. And then I applied several coats. I want to say some pretty thick coats. And I let it dry, came back maybe 20 minutes later, put more on there. And you'll see, I'll get close here and focus. You'll see it's on there pretty thick. It's all around it. It's down inside the pin. And this is really, really on there. I mean, I can wiggle as hard as I can, and it is not coming off. And so basically now it just opens and stops on there. So I created a stopper. This would have been about $300–400 to get one of these mirrors, even used off eBay. Very hard to get a color match. I mean, obviously this one's not in perfect shape as it is, but I was able to even put some of the glue in here. I didn't want to apply it too much in case I do need to pop this back open, but I basically tacked it along here, added some tape. So now this is basically back to fully functioning. Once again, I just wanted to show you guys this because I did not want to spend a lot of money. I didn't want to spend a few $100s on a mirror. I just wanted it to function. I really like the folding close. If this thing breaks in 6 months, if I decide to keep the car, I'm not, you know, that upset because I didn't spend the extra money on it. This literally cost me less than $2 because all I bought was a set of pins. I had the glue on hand. And you'll see the pin is white. Yeah, that is a little eyesore if you're looking at it, but keep in mind, this is mostly what you're seeing when you're looking at a car. You'd really have to get like here, and being that it's white, it does blend in a little bit better. I know there's going to be some thumb down on this video because it is not the exact fix of replacing the mirror, but once again, I told you from the beginning, this is my way of quick fixing it. It works. It's awesome. I really like the functionality. I hope this helps you guys out. Anybody looking to just get that part of their mirror functioning if you've damaged it like this one was. My name's Pete. This is Pete's Carport, and this is just a simple trick on fixing a mirror. You guys have an awesome day. Enjoy your weekend. It's awesome weather out here in Tampa, and I hope you guys are enjoying your weather as well too.